Tommy from Tech Nexus, and thanks for joining me for the last video in this week's series on FormIt. And do apologise, it's a bit late, so if you're watching this in Australia, it's probably Saturday. It's just been a busy week and I haven't had a chance to catch up on some of these videos, but we'll finish off this FormIt video today and then we'll get stuck into something else for next week. So, if you're in FormIt and you look on the right hand side, you've got this second button here, which is where all the materials live. Now, we did earlier in the week set up some glass, and what I might do is, just for argument's sake, is where are we? The windows. So I'll turn them off just so we can look inside our building, because we've already done the glass. So let's turn them off and then have a play with the materials here. So now what I want to do is go to the materials button, and then up here the second one is import material from library. So I'm just going to bring in some existing materials. You can go through and make your own, but I think that might be something we'll probably cover in another video. So under all of these options here, you can see we've got ceramic, concrete, decals. Well, we don't need any decals. We've got glazing, hardwood, masonry. So this might be good as well. So, you know, we can do different types of masonry. We don't want slate. I'm not a fan of slate. Retaining walls, so cinder blocks, if you want to get that sort of industrial look on this, I guess. So now what we can do is just go through and paint those cinder blocks onto our objects. So again, it's quite easy to do. And you can see sort of, it might be a bit hard to see over the web, but what we might do is zoom things around a little bit and then play with some of the sun and the shadows to get some light happening, and then we might be able to see that things a little bit better. If I zoom to the top roof here, you can see that we've got some bricks there. So what we might also do is have a play with some of the concrete, and then let's just call it, let's go aggregate on the roof. So then I'll just paint the roof with aggregate, so that way it looks more like what it is. So there's the outside, and then, you know, for the inside, because we're going for that industrial look, I guess we can just sort of paint, you know, paint the walls and paint everything else. And it's obviously a bit drab and grey, but again, you know, depends on the look that you're going for. So, you know, even with these stairs here, so we might even maybe make them out of wood. So if I go hardwood, cherry beechwood, whiskey, let's go natural unfinished. So pick the material and then just pick the elements, and you can see there it is. And you can go through and come up here and maybe make your own if you wanted to play around with colors and bump maps and everything else. But otherwise, you know, it's quite easy to get something a little bit more realistic just to go through and paint each of the individual elements in here. Now, what I'm going to do is just quickly fire up Revit 2020 and show you what happens when we do bring it in. And again, I'm not going to bother too much with this at the moment. It's just really an intro just to show you how it's going to get done. And then what I want to do is show you what happens when we bring this into Revit. So then I'm going to say, call this Cube House Revit. Okay, and then once Revit fires up, I'm going to do a new architectural template. Okay, again, if there's any comments on this, please make them in the comment section below. I'm more than happy to do follow-up videos with this, but I just wanted to spend this week as an intro into FormIt and sort of getting our house in there. Now that we're in Revit, if we go to the Add-ins tab, and we import FormIt to Revit. And then we go to the desktop, and then I fire up the Revit file. And then we're just going to let this do its thing. So what it is going to do is bring them in as a mass. And then from that, I guess you could convert those masses into whatever it is that you want the Revit model to be in. So we're just going to let things flow, and we'll speed this up, and I'll see you on the other side. Okay, so that's happened. It's come in saying it can't import geometry, so you couldn't do the doors and maybe the toilet. That's probably neither here nor there for me, to be honest. But now that it's come in, so let's switch to the 3D view. So what I'm just going to check is turn the mass on. Okay. And then there we go. So there is our FormIt model brought in to Revit. Okay. And you can see here, I haven't set up levels or anything like that. I haven't done it in the original model, but if we did, those would have come through. But you can see here that I can even if we go to the View tab, and if I go to the ground floor again, so this is looking from the front, so I can come through and do a camera. So let's throw a camera in from here to here, and then there we can see that view. So again, same thing, might have to go through and turn on the mass. And then what we can do is switch it to fine mode and shaded, and then there's the corner of that room. So if we do the same for the other side, go to camera, go the other way, and then same thing, turn on the masses and switch to fine mode and realistic, and then there it is. Okay, so again, don't be afraid of FormIt. It is in competition with SketchUp. It might not have as many features or be as powerful, but it does help you with the workflows in regards to going into Revit. So that way you only have to model it once and then reuse all of that data again in Revit. So again, like everything, thanks for watching. Hopefully it's been informative for you. Thumbs up if you liked the video, thumbs down if you didn't, but please do subscribe to the channel and click on the bell icon for daily notifications of all of my videos, and I'll see you next week for some more Autodesk videos. See you later.